Hello, dear listener. Sam here. In this episode, we talk a fair bit about the coronavirus. The episode was recorded on Tuesday, the 10th of March, and I am recording this on Friday, the 13th of March. While I/we don't think I/we say anything spurious or totally inaccurate about it, the nature of this thing means that not only is news obsolete day to day, it's becoming obsolete hour to hour. I think it's fair to say that within the next week, and for months and months to follow, this virus is going to dominate our lives. We should basically be on lockdown already, but we're not. This is just a little rare moment of sincerity I'm offering as a token of solidarity, I guess. I don't think any of our current listeners are likely to be taken out by this bastard, but overwhelming odds do suggest many of us are going to get rather ill, our friends and loved ones, etc. And so, perversely, in the same vein as our Marvel embargo, we are committing to never/barely talk about this subject ever again. Given that this is the biggest social event of our lifetimes, poised to overshadow 9/11, and I don't say that lightly, the odd reference might slip through. But if you're dazed enough to listen to us, you're probably doing so for the inane rambling, not the lucid commentary. So, barring the unavoidable, we endeavour to offer the same old irreverent, controversy-baiting, empty-headed guff, and promise to maintain that utter stupidity in the face of this cunt. Stay safe, much love, and see you on the other side. Hello, and welcome back, or welcome to the Funfiltered podcast. I am Sam, and I am joined by Eddie.
Hello.
And Jordan.
Hi.
I can't sustain this energy for much longer.
Okay.
It's. I know it's not like manically, but it's a bit, you know.
You brought it up a level.
I brought it up a level.
Yeah.
Are you going to meet me on the level, or are you going to bring me...
Let's just bring
Probably
it back down.
not.
Let's bring it back down.
Let's bring it down to
okay.
something a bit more sustainable for the next 2 hours or so.
okay.
This is day 2 of a hangover, so...
Day 2.
Yeah, I don't know why I felt hungover earlier today,
Okay.
but...
Well, they do tend to last longer now, I think,
Yeah.
the older you get.
I'm 24. I'm not that old.
But you are older.
Yeah. I didn't even drink that much,
It
which is the
works.
worst bit.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Why weren't we invited?
Because I basically did a 11-hour shift.
Right.
And then was like, fuck this, I'm having a drink. And that turned into me staying around with the team after work.
Oh, I
And,
see, okay.
drinking for a few hours.
You're forgiven. What should we start with then? Should we start with coronavirus?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Let's start with that.
What's your review?
What's your
What's
opinion
my
on
opinion
coronavirus?
on the coronavirus?
Do you recommend coronavirus? Or?
I think it's just...
It's a pain in the ass.
The problem with the coronavirus, one of the problems with the coronavirus, is finding reliable outlets that are reporting accurately.
I mean, in fairness, in today's world, it's not just the coronavirus that's
No,
for.
but you sort of expect it with politicians and generally
yeah.
political situations.
Yeah.
Because, everyone has a bias. You think with something like this, surely the only way to report is empirically, but that's not the case. And so it's like doing an IQ test. You've got to read 10 different articles and extract a mean foundation of fact from them. Right? I think that I've never seen such a kind of varied response to something, and it's just so plainly clear that everyone is just bringing it using it for their own ends. It kind of feeds into their own narrative.
Yeah.
So I've within the same kind of digital breath, I've seen people saying it's going to end the world, and then other people saying it's nothing to worry about. It's a cold, right?
Yeah.
Neither is true. Okay? But it just seems like... So here are some things I've heard about it, okay?
Okay.
That it was invented by the Chinese government to reduce the population. Right?
Yeah.
That old
Yeah.
chestnut, is it?
Yeah, genuinely touted.
Well, there's
as a
the Resident
legitimate
Evil
theory.
meme, isn't there? Where there's a biological research centre in the same district that the coronavirus broke out.
Yeah.
That has the same logo as the Umbrella Corporation from Resident Evil.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
developed a zombie virus, which I think that was for military purposes as opposed to population control.
Okay.
But obviously it turned everyone into a zombie, so in a way it was population control.
Right. Yeah, it's the psychology of conspiracy theorizing kind of fascinates me. Why do you think people do it? Because I think it's a psychological thing, you know?
I mean, conspiracy theories interest me, but people who are full on, like, into... down that rabbit hole... Yeah, I can't explain that.
I mean, we're talking about the level beyond, it's fun to sort of pretend, like, what if the moon landing was fake? Like, all that kind of stuff, you know?
Is that what it is? Because I don't think...
No, I'm saying it's beyond that.
But I don't think... The reason the moon landing might seem more kind of trivial is purely distance.
Okay.
I think. Not, from the Earth to the moon, but time.
Yes.
The people who indulge that sort of stuff, sure, there might be an element of play to it, but I don't think they think it's fun. I think the people who genuinely believe it are like, we've been lied to.
Yeah.
I don't think they think it's a game.
No. And like I said, it can be fun for some people to engage with that kind of thing. You know, like, vaccines cause autism, the world is flat.
But again, is this fun?
But there are people. And that's what you want. I assume that's what you want to dig into, is the people who would genuinely...
But I'm arguing, I suppose, that most people who believe in those things don't do it for fun. I think people who don't believe it think they're fun.
Yeah.
But if you believe it, it's the thing. It's the same thing with abortion, isn't it? Not that it's fun, but there's a certain demographic of pro-abortionists, pro-abortionists, pro-choice as that trivialize it / celebrate it, and the outrage on the other side of the argument they think is hysterical.
Yeah.
But it's that Louis C.K. thing of like, they think you're killing babies. Like, it's not a game.
Yeah.
And it's a similar sort of thing here. I mean, what do you think is motivating it? Generally motivates conspiracy theories?
I don't know. I think there's like an intrinsic human need to be right about certain things.
Yeah.
And I think if you sort of were to tackle a commonly believed upon narrative,
right,
and sort of invert that. Like, you all thought the moon landing was real, but here is conclusive proof that it's not.
Right.
Then I assume, like, it sort of elevates you. Whether that's in your own mind or in society. Like, oh shit, this one person solved the mystery of...
Like a truth hero sort of thing.
But you boil it down to like things like 9/11 and people being like, well, it was an inside job. You can see this, and this.
Yeah.
And then you go, because it was Al-Qaeda.
Yeah.
And that they were quite proud of taking responsibility for that.
Yeah. I don't know. In the case of things like 9/11, I don't know whether it's a case of it's more a coping mechanism. Yeah. Just like, this terrible thing just doesn't happen. It must have been staged. You know?
Yeah, I think with things... Yeah.
I was going to say, that is a big thing I feel like in America, when like things like that happen.
Although
it's like,
I don't know what's worse in the case of 9/11, if a foreign power carried out that attack, or if their own government carried out
this is the thing. My thinking about conspiracy theories has kind of been three-pronged. I've always thought of it as, there's an element of, it's kind of terrifying to imagine that 12, however many, I think it's 12, guys brought down a country with, planned on the other side of the world. They did it with pen knives and sharpened credit cards.
Yeah.
It's kind of weirdly reassuring to think that your government did it, because surely only the institution could be capable of something so massive.
Yeah.
So it's a coping mechanism. That's one. I think there's genuinely a part of it, like, isn't life just more interesting if it's like a movie and there are secrets?
I feel like the moon landing is interesting enough without it having been faked, you know?
But surely it's more interesting, isn't it?
I would say JFK springs to mind in that response.
That's one of the ones where I can buy into the conspiracy theory.
Yeah, because that is the one I'm fully on board with.
Yeah. Not that he wasn't killed by who he was, but more that there was more than one shooter prepped.
Yes.
Like that, I totally believe.
That's like one of those unique ones where like nothing makes sense. Like even the truth doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's Occam's razor, isn't it? Typically, the most obvious answer is the correct one.
Yeah.
And it's the thing with like Clinton couldn't keep who was sucking his dick a secret.
Yeah.
And you think that thousands of NASA employees and United States military could keep all this stuff a secret?
Yeah.
No, it's just humans aren't able to keep something that big a secret. And then the third kind of prong is a distrust of government.
Okay.
Which I feel like... No, that's completely wrong. I was trying to be intellectual there and it wasn't going to pan out.
All right.
But I think conspiracy... like, it became... 70s was the era of the... Okay, this does make sense, actually.
Okay.
The 70s were the era in America of the conspiracy thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's in the wake of Watergate and things like that. And, yeah, it just kind of marks... It indicates a massive distrust in authority.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where, whenever there's a big thing now... there has to be it's not what you think it is. But I'd never thought of it in the way you kind of suggested, which is what if there's also the contrarian impulse?
Yeah.
Which I've definitely got. I've got a contrarian impulse. This romanticized idea of like being the outsider. Yeah, surely that's an incredibly attractive idea.
Because if you think of it in that regard, it's not even just the case of, but I might prove them right.
Yeah.
And then I will be celebrated. It's just the experience of swimming against the current.
Yeah. It ties into that Revenge of the Nerds thing as well, of like, I was right all along.
You're going to hammer that home, aren't you?
Well, it's true.
You're
It's
dead
happening.
set on that Revenge of the Nerds thing.
It's definitely...
No. It's empirical. It has happened, but just like... it's going to infect everything I say and do.
Well, it's sort of like you to people like Sam Harris, right? Who generally identify as being on the left. The reason they are so caught up in the free speech debate and that sort of thing is because it's their side and they're trying to redeem their side as they see it.
Okay.
And so my thing about Revenge of the Nerds is I recognize an element of myself in what's going on right now.
Right. Okay.
And I don't like it, you know?
Right.
So I'm sort of trying to defend from my own side, if you know what I mean.
You don't like the scale of it, or you don't like the motivation of it?
I don't like, the motivation under it. I don't like the impulse. I think it's ugly.
Okay.
And I think resentment is a bad bedrock.
Okay.
I think it's unsustainable. I think if being angry at the world is what ultimately drives you, if you're not going to find success in conventional arenas, that's where you get people who go and shoot up schools and shoot up their workplaces and stuff like that.
Right.
And I just, a jock never shot up his school. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm suspicious of it. But it's because I sort of identify with it. I know what it's like to feel like you're the outsider, and I know what it's like to romanticize that as well.
Okay.
Every character we've ever written has been a misunderstood outcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I completely get it, but you've got to mediate that with an adult view of the world and say, you know what, it is a bit pathetic actually to think because you're outside and you're not being let in, that you're above the people who are in the party. So, no, that's just not the way anyway, that's a massive tangent.
Okay.
The point being, China created the coronavirus in a lab to trim the population. Isn't that just like, right, they're suppressing the numbers plainly of how many people are dying in China.
Okay.
China's on its way.
Do we know this?
It's almost certainly a fact.
Right, okay.
Because they do this stuff all the time.
Okay, all right.
And they're on their way to being, the next great superpower because of their economy, which has taken a massive hit because of coronavirus.
Yeah.
Because of their army, which is innumerate because of how many people live in China. They surely wouldn't want to affect that.
Right, okay.
And by looking competent. The economy works when you look as a nation competent. And they have completely failed to contain this national issue that's now become an international virus. They look totally incompetent on the world stage.
Did China look competent before?
Well, certainly economically.
Well, more competent than they do now, certainly. But I never got the impression that China were, broadly speaking now, I mean general opinion, I didn't get the sense that China were considered a competent power.
Well, yeah. I mean, forced to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, but obviously now, people think they would have invented something that just weakens them in every way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, smart move.
Yeah. They already had the one-child policy thing. I'm not sure if that's still...
I'm sure it's still
in place.
A thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that did work to an extent.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Start exporting them all to Japan. Japan need them.
It sort of feels... It's got a biblical kind of element in the sense of, right, God, in the Old Testament, he's like, right, I'm displeased with my creation. Fuck it, I'm flooding it. That didn't pan out. So he just did it all again. This time, I'll send my son to kind of act as a receptacle for sin and sort of be the fall guy. And
I mean, he ended up on a cross. You're certainly the fall guy.
He'll be the Patsy.
What if we send a guy?
But that's what he is, isn't he? Jesus is the Patsy of man.
Yeah.
The kind of soaked up out.
But I like how it went from a very practical, right, I'm going to fucking destroy everything. To, I'm going to metaphorically cleanse it.
Yeah. But it sort of feels like China, they implemented the one-child policy. It's like, we should have gone with a virus. We should have just unleashed the virus.
Well, it's not too late. It's
just this could become an international incident.
Yeah. It's just baffling. But I'm hearing, I won't name names, but I'm hearing this from the same people that I hear 9/11 was an inside job.
Okay.
It sort of feels like you gravitate towards any conspiracy theory. I sort of see, not the logic, but I don't know, if you think America didn't really land on the moon, it's fucking stupid to believe that.
Yeah, I mean, no offense, but Buzz Aldrin would not have as much of a fucking hard-on about the moon landing.
Well, he punches people who deny it, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he wouldn't be that OTT about it if he hadn't done it.
Yes.
See, I'm pretty sure the people on the other side would use that argument to support the idea that he is. He can't
He's so
sustain the
vitriolic.
lie.
Yeah.
So he's just resorting to violence to distract people from it. You know?
Good man.
Well, I get like one conspiracy.
Either way, good on him, I suppose, for punishing those people.
But like, you know, if you think 9/11 was an inside job, as you see it, the facts suggest that's the case. And so I get that, but I don't understand how that's like, well, I do, but how logically that extrapolates to all conspiracy theories. Like, oh, I will now believe anything that suggests larger.
Well, that's the danger of being an ideologue, isn't it? We discussed this a little bit.
It's not ideology, is it?
No.
It's psychology.
Okay. Well, we discussed it a little bit.
Yeah.
When we were talking about people saying like, "Oh, Oscar's so woke" in the wake of Parasite winning, where like because you believe this one thing, every instance would suggest that might be like, where the opportunity for that has arisen.
Yeah.
Like you have to, you know. Oh, this is SJW propaganda. This is SJW propaganda. This is like woke propaganda. It's like, but no. In this instance, the right film won.
Both suggest failures in thinking.
Yeah.
But I think one is ideological and one is psychological. I think people who tend to just believe any crap that suggests that is conspiratorial.
Yeah.
I think that's a psychological kink rather than an ideological one.
Okay.
There's something that makes them more amenable to conspiracy thinking, you know?
Yeah.
Because they spout mutually incompatible conspiracies. From the same person, I've heard that 9/11 was an inside job, and it was Israel.
That did the inside job?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because a disproportionate amount of Jews didn't go to work on 9/11.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, right, let's really think this. So Israel carried it out. We can discuss motivations later. Let's just say they did it.
All right.
And
money.
They found out.
Jews like money, right?
So they attacked the World Trade Center.
Well, they were paid by the government, right?
But after 9/11, again, stocks crashed. Like, this is not good for the global economy.
Yeah, but they have money now.
How?
Just put it under your mattress. Wait a couple of years.
Okay, all right.
And then
Israel,
and then it'll have money again.
Yeah. So they found out somehow everyone who was Jewish who worked in the World Trade Center, which presumably, not to be anti-Semitic, was a lot of people. Probably. It's New York and it's trade. I'm not being funny.
Yeah, they do kind of go hand in hand.
There's a lot, you know. And then they emailed all the Jews and said, you know, L'chaim, do not go into work today. You trust me. You don't want to be.
We're gonna blow up the World Trade Center.
It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And like that they were bombs, you know, inside as well.
Yeah.
Why would you bother flying planes into the building if you're gonna blow it up from the ground?
Yeah.
And
I've seen that as well. Like is it the support beams? Like they melted uncharacteristically quickly.
Yeah, and it wouldn't fall in the way it did.
Yeah, I've seen that. Comparisons between controlled demolitions and the way the World Trade Center collapsed.
Yeah. I mean, the most common thing you hear, isn't it, is that America did it to justify the invasion of Iraq.
Yeah.
But the point is, when they invaded Iraq, the broad consensus was this is a non sequitur. Because after 9/11, they invaded Afghanistan first, right?
Okay.
In 2001, which made sense.
Yeah.
Because that's where the Taliban were, and that's where it was suspected they were hiding out and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then they invaded Iraq. And that was considered, hang on, wait a second. How does 9/11 justify the invasion of Iraq? At the time, that was considered a complete non-starter.
Okay.
But obviously they said that, we suspect there are WMDs in Iraq, that sort of thing. It feels like you could come up with a smarter way. If you want to go to Iraq for the oil, it feels like you can come up with a smarter way to justify that. Rather than going, we'll have like Afghans. We'll say that Afghan, but they wouldn't even that. They were Saudis. Saudis in Afghanistan.
Right.
We'll have them do it, and then we'll invade Iraq.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's so fucking. It's the same sort of people who think that the president's got the nuclear button under the Oval Office desk.
Doesn't he?
No.
I thought he had like a little panel on his phone. He flipped it open. There was a button underneath his phone.
That says red.
Yeah.
Destroy North
It says
Korea.
red. Yeah, it doesn't even see nuclear warheads. It just says red on it.
Yeah. It's red, yeah.
Imagine Trump in the Oval Office on the phone to like Kim Jong-un, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
Just like, I'll press it.
Yeah.
I like the idea as well that for him, they changed the label on the button to red so he would know what colour it was.
I had a dream I was in North Korea the other day.
How was it?
How
was it?
Oh, it was oppressive.
Oh.
I was in like an assembly, like a school assembly.
Okay.
And I was with a guy that lived in North Korea, but he was Western. And he knew what was going on. And like something really invidious was in play.
Okay.
And Kim Jong-un was just sitting behind me, just on his own, just a guy. And I was trying to convince the guy who was going to go up on stage to like, blow the whistle. It's like, when you go up, you have to say that North Korea are doing this. He's like, I'll get executed. I'm like, fucking do it. And I'm being like really abrasive with him, and he goes up and does it. And I'm like, as Kim Jong-un, seeing that I've been really abrasive with this guy, as he sussed out that I'm the one who made him do it. And then I'm living in paranoia.
Right.
I'm going to all these dinners, and everyone's singing songs with Kim Jong-un. I'm like, I don't know the lyrics. It's bizarre. But coronavirus.
Yeah.
So you've got the conspiracy people. Then you've got the political thing. So in America, Democrats seem to be suggesting that Trump is to blame for the coronavirus.
Well, he's to blame for everything else.
That's true. Yeah.
He sent the coronavirus to China. Fuck up China.
Yeah. Then you've got over here socialists. There seems to be a running trend of people saying, going out and panic buying, how individualist of you. How dare you? There are people who need that stuff.
Right, okay.
We need to band together. It's like, this is not an opportunity for socialism.
Yeah.
It's just, but then you've also got the people who are going out and buying everything.
Yeah.
This stupidity is rampant.
Does my nut in.
It winds me up. Have you seen any of those videos of like supermarket aisles?
My dad rang me from Sainsbury's and was like,
I'm trying to get toilet. Oh,
no, he rang me from Sainsbury's and was like,
in the background.
well, I need a toilet roll, but there isn't a single one. So he was like,
if I drive to Cardiff, can you let me a toilet roll?
No, but he was saying this, and then he went, well, I thought, if I can't get toilet roll, what are the other options? So he looked at tissues, they were gone. He looked at like kitchen roll, that was gone. And he's like, well, fuck then.
Why? Everyone's asking this.
I hope he has found an alternative.
No, yeah, he found some in a different shop.
Okay, right.
Yeah, why
took
toilet
him like
roll?
3 supermarkets to go to get some, but
explain. Why toilet roll?
Well, toilet roll I don't understand. Hand sanitizer I get completely.
Yeah, 100%.
Everyone's got hand sanitizer now.
Yeah, and the surplus of it. Because there is a small party that goes, well, hang on. If everyone was buying hand sanitizer before, how come there's suddenly none of it?
Well, again, it's all at once, isn't it?
Yeah.
Buying it all at once.
But does it sort of like low-key imply that there were a lot of people who weren't using hand sanitizer before?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, there are a lot of disgusting people in the
That's
world.
the conspiracy theory I'm
so people
supporting.
weren't washing their hands.
Yeah.
I think people...
I've worked in a pub long enough to know some people just don't.
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think there are certainly people who are doing it now that weren't doing it before. Yeah, but I think the fact they're flying off the shelves is more people bulk buying.
Yeah. There'll be some people just going in and buying like 10 at once.
Yeah. That I get, right? But the toilet roll. Explain that one to me. I know people think, if I'm going to have to self-isolate and quarantine myself, I'm going to need a lot of toilet paper.
I'm going to need to shit.
But you're also going to need food. And
yeah, but then the tins of beans are also running low.
Are they? Yeah, but that's the thing.
Where's the empty bread and milk shelves?
I know.
Like in the snowstorm, that's
always
the first thing to go.
No, it's a lot of tin food is going now.
But that makes sense to me. Like that should be the thing that's running out. Canned food.
Yeah.
But why toilet paper? I don't get that.
That's not
in case it gives you the shits.
Well, that's not a symptom.
No. It's got
nothing to do with it.
Yeah, but it can give you diarrhea.
That's how we like brain logic works, isn't it? It's like, I might get the shits out of this. It's not a symptom. Yeah, but I might get the shits.
I don't know. I mean, I think like 0.something% of people get diarrhea with it.
Okay.
But yeah, certainly not enough. Like, if anything, like fans should be the thing that are selling out. Because the fever is the most common symptom.
Well, I was going to say, like, but you've got all this sort of attitude towards it. And then, as I said to you like before, my attitude with the people from work has been, well, we haven't got it. We've seen the meme that the name fits into Come On Eileen, so we're just dancing around, not giving a shit.
But you're part of the problem, see? Because like, I think the problem, again, it's a generational gap. My parents' generation and my grandparents' generation are all, buy everything. It's gonna kill us all. Yeah. And then you got our generation, like, it's nothing. We're enlightened. We know it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in between, right? It is more of a problem, not the slack you off, Eddie. It's more of a problem.
So?
It's more of a problem than the flu. It's
Okay.
worse than the flu,
Yes.
right? It's unclear by how much, but it is worse than the flu. And yeah, general thing is, obviously, wash your hands. And if you're going to don't go see your grandparents if you think you've got it.
Yeah.
It's basically as simple as that, right? And yeah, if you have it, it's going to be horrific.
Yeah.
You're not going to feel very well.
No.
But this too shall pass.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it okay? It's only the one strand, right?
They think it might be mutating, but
Okay. 'Cause I was going to say, obviously a vaccine is, I assume, being developed top
trying.
speed.
yeah, they're trying to develop a vaccine.
Yeah, but if it's just one strand, is it a case of you get the virus passes, and then you're
You're immune, yeah.
immune to it?
I think if you get it, you're immune to it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that at least. You know?
But it's the thing, Ben's Pure
Suck it up.
This.
If you get the virus,
Yeah,
just suck it up.
If you're young, yeah, just like cope with it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be nice, but you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And if you really can't breathe, obviously,
Yeah.
like seek help.
Don't listen to the rumor that cocaine is.
That's a rumor, is it? I've heard
That's been
That's a Gen Z rumor, right?
Yeah, but it's been a rumor for a while. So when it like first broke, they were like, "Oh, this is like the antidote." No.
Oh,
But you get-
right.
but you
No,
get
I've seen.
cocaine.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
memes of it on. But
Yeah,
I
but
thought
no.
it was like
Yeah, no,
cold
it's
and flu tablets that they've crushed up or something.
No, yeah,
I thought
no.
the joke was they were making medicine look like cocaine. It wasn't actual
No.
cocaine.
That it went from that to cocaine is the.
I see.
You know,
Okay.
But you get cocaine sweat. How the hell's that going to help a fever? You might just feel vaguely more optimistic about not dying. That's the best you're going to get.
What is
yeah,
the
but then the
best-
come down's going to be even fucking worse.
What is the
Exactly.
best Class A drug to take on a fever?
If you have coronavirus.
If you have corona, if you've got like a fever like that, the fever I assume is the main symptom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the best thing to counter that?
I don't know. You get,
drug- I
so
mean-
you get warm on E.
Most drugs tend to
Yeah,
warm
E's
you
not
up.
good.
No.
No.
Well, and acid. They all fuck up your temperature regulation.
Yes.
So you sweat with all of them.
Yeah.
So nothing. Don't take drugs. Take paracetamol. That's like it.
Paracetamol's a drug.
Yeah, I know, but I think that's what's been advised, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandra, don't take drugs.
No, take drugs. Just not if you've got coronavirus.
Yeah. Give it a week.
Take drugs sensibly. I've heard that it makes all men infertile.
Yes.
So there's
Is that something to be celebrated?
which seems to be supporting the conspiracy that it was done to trim the population.
Oh, okay.
Because not only is it killing people, it's also preventing you from having any more children.
Yeah.
Bonkers. I've never seen so much misinformation spread.
How does that work?
What?
What is essentially a mutated flu virus
Making you infertile?
making you? How's that work?
I'm not a doctor.
No,
It
but
travels down your body to your penis.
but flus
and then
don't
just
do
gets
that.
But it's not the flu, is it?
No, it's not the flu.
It
but
doesn't make you
It's
infertile,
its
but-
closest cousin, right? The flu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's that work?
I don't know how diseases generally make you infertile.
Okay.
I don't. Do you?
No. I'm just like
I don't know how
that.
medically
As
works.
someone who doesn't know anything about this
Yes.
stuff, that feels like a leap.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. We could be wrong.
Yeah. Obviously, the main thing they're advising is, social distancing and cleanliness. I look at that and I think, you know not with who you try for. You've met your maths coronavirus if what you demand is social distancing and cleanliness. But also, right, so this is the thing I've seen. I won't name a name again. If you're listening, sorry. You know who you are. I
know who it is as well,
I saw a thing, right? It was a video of Boris Johnson. And it was just a completely neutral, uncharged bit of health advice. And he was at a press conference and he was saying the best method for washing your hands, a good kind of mnemonic, is sing happy birthday twice. And hot water and soap, right?
Okay.
That's how long you should be washing your hands for, is sing it to yourself twice. And he wasn't like making a joke about it. I think the only he said, yeah, you know what I'm going to say, I've said it 1,000 times, sing happy birthday twice. And someone commented, I've got it exactly here.
Oh.
Just say wash your hands for 20/30 seconds. This isn't a joke, you walking bag of spunk. It's like, what? That is pure ideology, isn't it? Like,
Yes.
You literally can't say anything
Yeah.
that will be taken with any generosity whatsoever.
How is singing happy birthday a joke?
The only thing I can think is that it's considered to be trivializing it,
Okay.
or I don't know, like making it more elaborate than it needs to be.
Okay.
Like it's less.
But surely by saying sing happy birthday twice,
Yeah.
he's trying to create something that people remember rather than just
Yes,
going,
I mean,
wash
exactly.
your hands
Well,
for 20
everyone knows
seconds.
happy birthday.
Yeah.
And it's not long enough, but he's like, okay, sing it twice.
Sing it twice,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is actually fairly sensible because then people go, Boris Johnson told me to sing happy birthday to him.
But exactly, it's a new. You're more likely to forget 20 seconds than you are. Oh, it's happy birthday twice.
Yeah.
That's just an easier thing to remember. So yeah, the point is, this thing has just been. But Ben Shapiro said, like, if the media reported on the flu the way they do on the coronavirus, even though the coronavirus is worse, people will be mass panicking about the flu every year.
Oh yeah.
Because that's the problem with this. It's not the government fucking up, even though they did in China. It's not nothing like that. It's purely an irresponsible media that are creating panic by wall-to-wall reporting. And it's not by necessarily misreporting it. It's by every day, even if I'm not looking for it, I will see 215 people in UK now have it. 5 have died.
Yeah.
I don't need to know it step by step.
No.
You know what I mean? I need to know how to protect myself. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But seriously, it's the problem with 24-hour news coverage as well.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is you've got things like Italy as well. So obviously Italy have just quarantined, like, was it 16 million people?
Yeah.
Right. Now imagine seeing that on the news over here and going, well, shit, like, what's going to happen? You know, where are we going next with this? Because they just quarantined fucking shit tons of people.
Yeah. I've heard thousands.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's projected for the UK. Thousands. But yeah, that's the way it was going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? It's unfortunate, and obviously we're not trying to be glib about it. People are dying, and that's horrific. But it's a really bad flu. Like, you know, it doesn't need as much attention as it's getting.
Well, yeah, okay.
Disagree?
No, it needs some attention, obviously.
Yeah, of course. You need to be told how to protect yourself.
Yeah.
That's it. What else do you need? You don't need to know.
Well, yeah, with work, we've had 4 updates just for the coronavirus.
Okay.
And all of them are basically, well, you know, it started off as like, wash your hands for like 10 seconds. No, wash your hands for like 20. You know, that's all it's really doing.
Yeah.
It's just like, just wash your hands for longer. Don't shake hands, touch toes and elbows, which, again, is a really weird, like, oh yeah, cheers, mate. It's fine. But who the fuck am I going, oh yeah, cheers, mate? Like,
I mean, my thing has been so I had to go to the pharmacy the other day.
yeah.
And when I went there, like, I just keep my hands in my pockets. But at one point I leaned on the counter and I thought, right, okay, don't touch my face until I get home. I got home and then I washed my hands. I think it's a difficult habit to get into.
Yeah.
But it's just this, if you're out and about, try not to touch your face, basically.
Yeah.
And then wash your hands as soon as you can.
I mean, I sneezed on the train on the way over here and I got fucking looks and I'm like, there's 7 of us on this bloody train. Like,
when I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, when this was first breaking out, it wasn't quite over here yet. An Asian lady walked into the pharmacy and said, do you sell face masks? And he was like, oh, no, we don't. And I was a bit like, oh, God. if she sneezes, I'm bolting. Yeah, I don't know. It's just completely irresponsible. And as usual, somewhere in the middle is the truth.
yeah.
Which is, you should panic about it accordingly. But don't lose your minds about it, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But what I will say, when I say, like, we were, like, having a song and dance about it, like, at work, there's no reason for us to panic about it at the moment. It's you know, but then everyone's hearing, like, the word coronavirus and going, oh.
Exactly, it's the word coronavirus. It's a new word.
Corona, the alcohol, lost 132 million.
So fucking stupid.
Yeah.
See, I thought...
But it's not... But that's the thing. So the company that make Corona, they sell other products. It is not all on Corona that they've made that loss. A lot of it is down to this because... But it isn't... what people don't seem to quite understand is it's because no one... It's not just like, oh, over here, suddenly people are stopping buying Corona. Yes, the sales have gone down over here. They have a massive market in China.
Right.
No one's fucking buying alcohol.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
films have been affected as well, haven't they?
Yeah, it's fucking
Film
annoying.
budgets have been affected. Not film budgets, film takings have been affected.
Well, I
Hence
thought...
the delay in a certain film.
We'll get
Yeah.
back to that. I thought it would kind of perversely have an inverse effect. So I thought the Corona sales would go up as a result of the coronavirus. Because I just assumed people would just know it's got nothing to do with the beer.
No, people are stupid.
But that's the thing. Yeah, I miss, I underestimated people again. But I thought that people would just, because the word Corona was in people's heads, I thought people were just more likely to go,
Oh, I
buy
fancy
it
a
at the
Corona
bar.
right now.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That kind of thing, yeah.
Nah,
But no, people are just that fucking thick.
Desperados are doing well out of it.
I was saying to Jordan earlier, like, the footage of those people, like, barreling down the shopping aisles, getting as much toilet paper as they can. I hope they all get it. Because if we do need to
but that's
separate the wheat from the chaff, let them go.
No, but surely,
Let 'em go.
when you like, in terms of like trying to be slightly logical here, the people all rushing to the shops, if even one of them has it,
Yeah.
everyone in there's
Everyone's
getting
gonna
infected
get it.
because everyone's
But
in
that's how it's happened, isn't it? People being selfish fucks.
there. Yeah.
I saw a headline about a guy who was deliberately going to bars because he had it and he wanted to spread it. Just for the fuck just to be the joker, you know?
Yeah.
But I think, unless you're like have an entirely disaffected personality, I think you have to do some work to not be scared by it at the moment. You have to really read into it to go, oh, it's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
Because of the wall-to-wall, it's everywhere. Coronavirus. You know, you have to have a sensible head about you to not be terrified by it.
Yeah.
And I just think you can't expect, I'm not trying to be patronizing, you genuinely can't expect that most people to do the work of really trying to figure out what's going on. You just kind of believe what you're told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the media have been entirely irresponsible for it, and they've, you know, it's on their heads, be it.
Yeah.
I will say, like, it will come across as a dampener on things, but 2020.
Yeah.
So far, we've had shit tons of storms.
Yeah, floods.
And everything's gone tits up. And now we've got a disease which has gone worldwide.
Yeah.
Right, what's the rest of the year got planned for us?
Well, it's definitely gone biblical, isn't it? It's definitely, we've had floods and we've had locusts, pestilence or whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
This was supposed to be the new decade. You know, we were starting off strong, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least we got memes of it and we got porn of it.
Oh my god, hang on. Isn't the
there's
deadly
coronavirus
plagues-
porn?
Yeah, we'll get to that as well. The deadly plagues in the Bible of Egypt, isn't one of them the death of every firstborn child?
Yes.
We're not even getting to that because it's making everyone infertile. She's not even having firstborn children. Oh god, if this is happening. I retract everything I've said. Panic!
I would like to apologise for Sam's meltdown just a few seconds ago.
The sound levels just exploded.
It's not as if the horsemen are outside that. Oh my god. But yeah, that's how you know something has definitively become a thing. If there's memes of it and if there's porn of it.
But very quickly as well.
Is that just people in face masks?
Hold on, what were we going to say?
The TV show.
We're building up to it, Eddie. We're building up to it.
The TV show Homeland.
Yeah.
It's it's kind of a thriller series that's about geopolitics,
Yeah.
and they've in the last kind of few years they've hit a trend of predicting real world events.
Yeah.
And in the most recent season, it's all about America finally withdrawing troops from Afghanistan and striking a peace deal. Mm-hmm. And then it was on the news the other day that is happening now.
Yeah.
But in the show, spoiler if you haven't seen it, the president goes to Afghanistan to basically tell the troops in person, you're coming home, and then he is killed. His helicopter is shot down. Mm-hmm. War is the horseman of the apocalypse, isn't it?
Yes.
Does this mean that we're going to actually enter another war with the Middle East?
How do you mean?
Well, if Homeland is very prescient, and they predicted that the US is going to withdraw, is Trump going to get shot down in a helicopter in Afghanistan?
Oh, maybe.
And we're going to enter another war. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Sorry, I just like the idea that the Middle East is sat watching Homeland going, we'll shoot down Trump if he comes in. Just fucking write this down.
I like the idea that
Write this
Trump
down.
is watching Homeland and going, I'm still going to go over there. It's not going to happen to me.
You can't get Showtime in Yemen or whatever. But
he might have a proxy way of watching.
I think Obama was a massive
smuggling in
fan
VHSs of Homeland.
I think Obama was a fan of Homeland, so Trump almost certainly isn't. Okay, so yeah, you brought this to our attention, Jordan.
Yes.
Coronavirus porn.
Coronavirus porn.
Go.
Yeah, it's basically just people in face masks.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do they whisper like,
people
I've got fever to each other?
No, they're just like, they're in quarantine and they get lonely, so they have sex. But they don't take off their face masks because coronavirus.
So don't try. But okay, alright, so it's more like the backdrop, because coronavirus porn suggests to me fetishizing
they're not having sex with the coronavirus.
So
if that's
what's the point then?
There's just an array of Corona bottles in the background.
If I'm into the premise, I'm into the idea of them transmitting the kind of illness to each other. So what?
Ooh, give me COVID-19. Yeah.
It's like, ooh, it's coronavirus porn, but like, they're not like, they're being safe. They're wearing, it's like hardcore sex, no holds barred, but they're wearing condoms. It just doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, I haven't looked too much into
Liar.
of the few videos I've seen, that seems to be the trend, is that it's normal porn.
You know for well, when it comes to it, it'll be like hardcore coronavirus porn, and then in asterisks will be no face masks.
Well, surely, no, because Jordan will have seen a lot of this porn, because surely at this rate, coronavirus porn is just Asian porn. Basically, if it's Chinese porn, it just is coronavirus porn at this point.
That's a fair point. Yeah. There are some white people as well, but yeah, a lot of it was Asian.
Does it just start off with someone coming into a copy room and then getting quarantined?
No, they come at the end.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Touche.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hello, I've come to plumb your toilet. Well, I've got all that toilet roll. All right. Should we move on?
Okay.
Should we move on? Well,
I would say, should we it's kind of still on topic.
Yes.
But into film.
Yes.
And the fact that No Time to Die has been delayed until November because of the coronavirus.
Fun fact, Fun Philistines, we recorded it's happening. It's happening.
Okay.
The idea was, in the run-up to No Time to Die, we were going to rewatch every single Bond film.
It's ironic, isn't it? Because it is time to die.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
If you're over the age of 80.
Or in like 6 months' time when the apocalypse comes.
It's true.
Yeah. In the lead up to No Time to Die, we were going to rewatch every single Bond film, and we were going to do episodes reviewing all of Bond films.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why we were watching all of the Bond films.
Yes.
But we can't do that anymore.
I thought you were going to say more than that.
Well, we can't do that anymore because the film has been...
Yes, we've got to delay our podcast episodes.
So we have already recorded one, which will eventually come out.
Yeah.
but for the time being...
Trust us, it's a gem of an episode
It's
as well.
brilliant, it's so good. I mean, damn you, I guess, China. God damn you.
It's just... I was actually getting quite excited about watching it because we started off the year with the likes of Parasite and The Lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else has kind of been a bit shit in comparison.
Yeah.
So I was kind of I had like hopes for this that it might be good, even though I think it's going to be a bit shit.
Okay.
And we'd started rewatching all the these old films, so I was getting quite into sort of the franchise. And then there's I saw the article saying that 2 of these fan groups had asked for the delay in the Bond film, and I was like, bollocks, they won't do that. And then the day after.
Yeah, I think we recorded that episode.
Yeah.
And then, immediately afterwards, we found out it was delayed.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
That's fucking annoying.
What, have any other films been delayed?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not yet.
I don't know if this is going to start a trend.
Yeah, well, there's an article on like BBC News about whether, like, what other productions would it affect.
Because Black Widow is still coming out.
Yeah.
You'd think that, like, Disney would be next in line to... Given that they pandered to China so much. Yeah.
Panda.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I'm surprised. I mean, I've never seen that joke anywhere. I'm surprised.
Scraped beyond the bottom of that.
Maybe that's why I haven't heard it anyway.
Okay.
But still, I thought that at least one person would have picked up on it.
Okay.
But yeah, Black Widow's still coming out.
The new Fast and Furious is coming out.
Yeah.
Also a deadly creature, pathogen. I don't know. Black Widow, it's a spider. It's like an overlap with Parasite and Coronavirus. Because all things can kill you.
So yeah, George, you were saying.
No, that was it. That was my point. Disney, Disney haven't delayed anything. They'll probably be next, or will they? A lot of their takings come from China. See, I'm pretty sure Disney
they do.
Well in
They've
China.
got a big Chinese market.
Yeah,
but they also have a schedule with about 3 billion films on it.
That is true.
Disney have a big Chinese market. I guess now, yeah. I was thinking because obviously traditionally Disney films are magical. China ain't big on that.
Yeah, they ain't big on that.
Yeah.
But that's sort of...
Did Aladdin do well in China?
I don't know, actually. Maybe. Because we know that Disney films do get modified when they go to China.
Like Black Panther.
Black Panther, yeah, that was modified. Like I brought up the Force Awakens poster as well, where Finn is like shrunk down into the corner.
Yeah.
But that's more like a race thing.
Yeah.
And gay as well. The amount of like LGBTQ characters that they've had, which are not LGBTQ in the film at all, but in the marketing afterwards, it's like, oh, didn't you pick up on it?
That will also come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, where does China stand on LGBT?
They ain't hot on it.
No. Just there's something we're going to discuss in a little bit, and that's raised an issue in certain countries but not in others.
Well, as you pointed out, Sam, there's basically no diversity in China.
No racial diversity, no.
No racial diversity, yeah.
Yeah, pretty homogenous. Okay, should we do a film review?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
On this film podcast.
On this film podcast.
Yes.
Oh, fuck me, we don't do that, do we?
Yeah, occasionally. Onward. More like
Oh
Watchword.
yes, yeah. No, I thought you were just like Onward. Let's continue with the podcast.
Onward.
But the film is
Yes,
called Onward.
It is.
Or more like On. What a good film.
Interesting.
Okay,
You liked it a lot.
I liked it. Yeah,
Okay.
I was quite taken with it.
Okay.
It's a film that I think gets a lot better towards the end.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Yeah. Well, should we give the premise?
Sure.
So the film is from Pixar. It's their newest venture. It's their first original film since The Good Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2015. Coincidentally, they're also releasing 2 films this year, much like
They are.
2015. It's basically
No,
set...
Coco. Sorry.
Oh yes, Coco.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh yeah, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was all right from what I remember. I don't remember much of Coco now. Was that 2017?
Yeah.
This is irrelevant. So yeah, Onward is set in a fantasy world full of fantasy creatures. Your elves, your manticores, your goblins, and all that. I don't think there's a single goblin in the film, but it's of that,
Of that ilk.
Of that ilk, yes.
It's magical.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to be memeing that later. So yeah, in this magical world, they discover, or they develop, I should say, electricity. And from there, a society very reminiscent of our own develops. And magic kind of falls to the wayside. It becomes this sort of forgotten art. So there's this family where there are these 2 brothers, played by... voiced by Christina Pratt and Tamika Holland.
What's that about?
This is trying to be funny.
Why?
Well, I thought you would just chuckle and we'd move on.
Not
But
why are you trying to be funny? Why have you feminized them?
well, because I thought you would just sort of chuckle and we could move on.
Oh, but I thought you were doing it to an end.
Oh no,
Oh, it's just you being whimsical.
yeah.
Oh.
Thank you.
Alright.
That's all he wanted.
So yeah, there's these 2 brothers. The younger brother played by Tom Holland,
Tamika Holland.
Tamika Holland,
Hey? Go on.
turns 16 and gets a gift from his father. They both get a gift from the father. Both brothers get a gift from the father. It's basically this like magical staff.
Because the father been dead long time.
The father's been dead. I should have pointed that out.
Father dead long time.
That is kind of important, that the father has been dead prior to the events of this film.
Yes.
So they're basically given a method in which they could bring him back for an entire day. And they're like, oh yeah, let's do that. That's, we get to see dad again. Woo. But the spell goes wrong and only the bottom half of the father is brought back. So
legs.
Sorry?
He's just all legs.
Just all legs. So they have to go on a quest to find this MacGuffin that will allow them to fully restore their father before the 24 hours is up. Because when the 24 hours is up, they can never see the father again.
Yes.
From there, the film carries on.
Out. Yeah.
The beginning is very the first 2 acts, I should say. It's very Zootropolis.
Yep.
In it's sort of like, here are these job/societal trappings that push through the filter of a genre which is occupied by, in Zootropolis' case, it's anthropomorphic animals. In this case, it's mythical creatures. So I thought it was just going to be that.
World building. Sort of.
Yeah, it's just going to be that sort of caliber of... Because Zootropolis, again, it's perfectly fine film. So I thought it was just going to be that. Where it's like, oh, this will be a nice distraction as long as it's on. And it was. And then the 3rd act sort of kicks in. And they start to kind of... The script starts to get a little bit cleverer. And they start to bring back, like, elements.
Yeah.
Do that whole reincorporation thing that good writing is built on. Even, like, things that seem like little details kind of end up coming back and being important. And you're like, oh, okay, that's quite nice.
Yeah.
And, yeah. I think it's got a really nice finale that sort of ties the whole thing together.
I liked it. But I think, broadly speaking, my response was, this is nice, but it'll pass.
Okay.
It wasn't like a... Right, okay. I really liked it. I did really like it. But it had a little bit of space script syndrome.
Okay.
There was a bit of that. You see it with... I think 7 Psychopaths is a good example, where Martin McDonagh makes In Bruges. And there's like, make whatever you want now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I've got this script.
Right.
I don't know if that was the case, but it feels like that. Like a lesser idea that you get when you can make anything you want, like, oh, I'll just make this then.
The first 2/3 definitely feels like that.
Yes. But I suppose it generally felt like that to me. Like, I'm not getting... you had Toy Story, Finding Nemo, they do these amazing worlds around these kind of very simple ideas. And it felt like this, it's that, but it's mythical creatures.
Yes.
It didn't really feel like it added, like, oh man, there's such a clever kind of frame to see it through. It was more just, alright, it's just the world, but there's kind of elves and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. There are some clever details,
Yeah.
but it didn't feel as revelatory as early Pixar did.
No, but I mean, like,
And they keep blue balling me. I'm waiting for that next fucking great Pixar film.
Is it going to come? I don't know.
It has to come, right?
I don't know if it is.
You have to believe that.
Because this is not Onward is not peak Pixar.
No, it's not.
It's not close to
it's
peak
not.
Pixar.
But it's not Dross Pixar.
Oh no, it's
Yeah.
it's very good Pixar. It's sort of like, would you say it's kind of Up? It's that kind of level.
Oh no, Up is much better.
Oh, okay.
No, because Up is quite emotionally profound, and there are little bits of this that have that.
Yeah.
But Up, is iconic. It will remain iconic.
Yeah.
I don't think this will. I think this will kind of be forgotten.
Okay.
I think it's a highly rated film that is fairly average.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Yeah, it's better than most animation.
It's average until its third act. When its third act kicks in, it started to really grab my attention.
The third act.
You clearly don't agree with this.
No. The third act definitely.
It's the best.
It's the best bit of the film,
Yeah.
and it definitely peppers over some of the flaws of the first.
Which is
one.
nice. It's nice to see a film get stronger towards the end. You don't usually
Absolutely.
see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My response usually is, I love the setup.
Yeah.
And then I'm let down by the... Yeah, no, definitely, 100% the ending is the best bit. But there was a little bit of... I felt like when I was emotionally responding to certain things, if I did feel a bit like I was being manipulated into it.
Well, yes, but...
I know. But like the music, the moment.
Yes.
I knew it was coming.
The Pixar moment.
I knew it was coming because I knew they were gonna... Okay, so the thing I liked about this film is like, right, okay, this is the setup. They have to abide the Rocky rule.
Yeah.
They have to. And it looked like they weren't going to.
Yes.
But then then it was like, no, they're going to half do it.
Okay.
But then they sort of did. Abide it.
Yeah.
So I kind of liked that.
Yeah.
Basically, the big culmination is that, spoilers, the main character is the one most ardent on talking to his father because he's never met him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, Chris Pratt, the older brother, kind of has this little monologue about he didn't kind of say goodbye to the father because he didn't want to see him with all the tubes in the hospital and that sort of thing. And then at the end, basically, Tom Holland says to Chris Pratt, you go talk to him.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Because they've only got like a couple of minutes
They've only got
left.
a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
You have your moment with him.
I'll defend you from the dragon.
You've basically been my father.
Yes.
Like, I've had all those experiences with you. And so you are denied the catharsis of the ending because you only see it as the main character sees it through a peephole from a distance.
You don't hear it. You don't even see the father's face.
You don't see the father's face.
Yeah.
So, like, good. They followed the
I was
Rocky
really
rule.
happy with that.
I was really happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That won me over, you know. But the moment where he's written a to-do list of things that he wants to do with his father.
Yeah.
And when he's realizing that he's done all those things with the brother and the music swells, I was like, I'm being manipulated. But it's okay. Because weirdly, as an only child, I've got a soft spot for brother stories.
Okay.
I don't know why. I've always gravitated towards two brothers. I don't know. There's something about it that I've always kind of liked. But yeah, I liked it a lot. But I don't think I'm ever going to watch it again.
Okay.
No, I think I fall into the category of take it or leave it. I probably wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for the podcast.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Okay.
It's been reviewed well from what I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, it has, but I'd seen a trailer and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I think there's a problem is at the moment I think a lot of films for me fall into that category.
Have you been, as Parasite ruined you?
I think so. I think a little bit.
Okay.
Again, that and The Lighthouse. I'm like,
Okay. It's difficult. I think if you watch as many films as we do, you've got to recalibrate every time you sit down to watch something new.
yeah.
It's hard to reset and go, right, okay, this is not going to be as good as you got to remain like as open-minded as you possibly can.
I think it also falls into the problem of I've been doing a lot of shifts where if I'm watching something, I'm watching it late at night.
Okay.
And then I'm up fairly early the next day.
Right.
So the time frame kind of falls into I'm probably slightly half asleep.
Okay. So it really needs to grab your attention.
Yeah, so something really needs to grab my attention. And as I say, like everything else I've kind of watched in the last few weeks hasn't really grabbed my attention that well.
Yeah. And this was just another one.
But I don't think it's a bad film at all.
Yeah.
As I say, I think the fact that it has a good third act is nice.
No, I mean, there's a certain level of quality, even with Pixar's bad films now, in terms of the animation and the performances.
Yeah.
Like, even Cars 2 is well done, you know?
Yeah. It doesn't drop below a certain threshold.
No, and it's definitely got that, and the animation is very fun and enjoyable.
It is. Yeah, so I was like, most of the film, it's like kind of a road trip movie, and it's them with their father, who they've kind of made up to look like he's a full person.
Yeah.
He's very Weekend at Bernie's, so I'm just throwing this out there. weak elf at Bernie's. And with that, I take my leave.
At what point did you know they were going to kill the van?
Oh, early.
Okay.
Very, very early.
I don't know whether it's just because when I see films like that, I sort of automatically kind of meet them on their level.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like right before they killed the van that I realised what they were doing. It was like a scene or two before that. It's like, oh, they're going to kill the van. But yeah, like the things that were supposed to surprise me and the things that were supposed to sort of get me in the script, they were doing their job.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know whether that's just because, like Disney films, they're very safe and they're very familiar and they're very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know whether I just sort of fall into that when I'm watching those films. I'm just like, right, I'm,
infantilized almost in a way.
Yeah, like I'm not turning my brain off and I'm not like, it's not as if I'm leaving my critical faculties at the door. Just like, oh, I know this is just supposed to be a fun, comfortable distraction.
An escape, yeah.
Yeah. So when the film sort of does things like, in the beginning, Chris Pratt's character, he's like standing by a fountain, so they can't demolish the fountain. And it seems like that's just like a character beat. It's like, oh, he's that kind of guy who doesn't like the... And then that fountain ends up becoming integral to the third act.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, that's cleverer than I thought this film was going to be.
I suppose like my relationship with those sorts of films is they have a formula. I'm not saying that they're formulaic necessarily, because that's kind of implicitly a criticism. But when you watch Inside Out, I don't know about you, when you first go like, right, I know at the end of it, sadness and joy are going to reconcile the necessity of both of them.
Yes.
You know exactly where it's going.
Yeah.
It's like, am I going to have fun along the way? And I suppose I didn't have quite enough fun. Because, I knew I knew it wasn't going to have the moment with the father. So, right, this isn't any other film. This is a Pixar film. So it's going to be slightly higher quality of writing than most films.
Yes.
So they're going to follow the Rocky rule.
Yeah.
When they did, it was still like, oh, good, they did that.
Yeah.
But I knew exactly where it was going. But yeah, the first two acts are a bit too paper thin for me.
Yeah.
I really wish it
that
was
is
a
something
great
that I think
thing.
is going to work against it in as time goes on. Is that it's a film for its third act.
Yes.
Its first and second act, they're completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, obviously they're necessary to the film.
It'll still be up for an Oscar.
Oh yeah, of course it will.
Probably,
It'll probably win as well.
Unless Soul is good. But
Maybe, yeah.
I kind of wish they'd had the courage of their convictions to do because obviously only his bottom half appears.
Yeah, so from his belt downwards.
His belt down. I wish, and there's like just a light above the his limbs, and I just wish they'd had entrails. So it's like intestines just drooping over the legs and stuff like that.
I was say you talk about Soul. I don't know if you paid attention to any of the Easter eggs.
No,
but obviously Soul is about a jazz musician.
Yes, I think so.
The name there is like at one point in the film there's like CDs on a rack or something.
Oh right.
And one of the albums like towards the top is the name of the musician
I
himself.
see. Okay. I've heard about the existence of Easter eggs, but yeah, I didn't know.
I don't.
There's an article in Empire. That's the only reason
I tend to not watch Pixar films on that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was lit. Yeah, it's an
I
article in
appreciate
Empire.
that they do it. It's just something I never really picked up on, so I don't do it.
There's a lesbian in it.
Is it?
Yeah. Which is the controversy and why it's been banned in 4 countries.
Where? When?
Police officer.
When they are pretending to be the new boyfriend.
Oh, the centaur.
Yeah. So when they're pretending to be him.
Yeah. I like that sequence. That's a nice sequence.
And she's talking about the difficulty with children.
Yeah.
She says, "My girlfriend's daughter."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's such a throwaway line.
Yeah.
And that got it banned in 4 countries.
The thing is, my response to things like that is that's how if you're gonna have LGBT characters in films, that's kind of how it should be done. Not making a big deal of it, but at the same time, it just makes it feel token. The way it's done, it's just for the adults to go, oh, good, because kids aren't gonna really know what that means.
Why did she say girlfriend, Mum?
Do you know what I mean? I don't know. This whole thing of it's a risky terrain on which to tread because I don't want to say don't put gay characters in kids' films, but at the same time, it just feels like whenever they do it, it's with this mission of inclusivity, and the kids shouldn't have to be thinking about sexuality at all. Do you know what I mean? I know you have like married couples in kids' films, and you could say, oh, but there's an implied kind of sexuality there. But do you know what I mean? By kind of highlighting the aberration. It's only there for sexual diversity.
Yeah.
And I just think gay people in a way deserve better, almost.
Well, that's the thing. It is such a blink and you miss it line.
Yeah. It's basically the same as in Rise of Skywalker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where it's in the background.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I completely missed that. I didn't miss it, because when you told me about it, I remembered it, but it just didn't register.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because for me, when that happened, it was honk. Like they were going, we're doing this now.
Oh, okay.
It is just one line. But when they did it's so stuck out. It's like, oh, right, they're doing that now.
Yeah.
That's the problem with political filmmaking over artistic filmmaking.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's political in that sense, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be done. But whenever it's done, it just feels hollow. It needs to be. I don't know how you go about doing it, but the way they're doing it is not good.
No.
It's flippant and it just sucks.
I mean, you brought up the Rise of Skywalker. The thing is, that is like one shot that is not important. Like, that was cut out in the Singapore version.
Right.
Like, that can be removed.
That's the definition of token, isn't it?
It is the definition of token, but with this, that's a line in a sequence.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get rid of that, really.
Not really, no.
No, because it's part of the flow of the conversation.
So they just banned it.
No, but that's the thing. Pixar have, like, considering how averse Disney is to, like, you know, doubling down on including those kind of characters, the fact that Pixar have put it in a sequence and they've kept it and they've sort of taken the hits.
Yeah, it's dubbed out. It's dubbed out in Russia. It just is partner in the Russian version.
It's something at least. I agree with you that, like, we still haven't found the sweet spot of being inclusive.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's at least a step that a Disney like produced film has kind of stuck by its token inclusivity.
I don't know.
Okay.
It just all feels a bit too virtue signaling to me.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not taking it very seriously. I'm not being, they're just trying to look, There's just something about it that feels not right, and I can't fully articulate that.
Okay.
Because whenever it happens, you go, that.
Yeah.
Just takes you out of it, And my only other note is this film. I know it's magic, but it kind of fails to grasp underwater physics.
Yes.
There's a sequence where they're having to press on a stone that's on the ground
to open a trapdoor above them as the water's rising through the chamber.
Yeah, as the water's right, so they're kind of submerged. And so they have to kind of put pressure on the stone, and they just like swim down and then just kind of stand on it.
Yeah.
Surely you'd have to be either incredibly strong, just kind of waving your arms like that.
Yeah.
To stay, or you need to have weights to hold you down.
Yeah.
And then the father was just legs.
Yeah.
This guy just goes boop. Like, nah, I'm sorry. Yeah. There's magic, and then there's
the thing is
the whole reason that they sent the father down there is because he doesn't have his top half. He can't drown. But the reason they have to send him down is because you have to stay standing on the stone, otherwise the door will close. Yeah. So as they're pulling the father back up, surely it should just close on him.
Yeah. And it don't.
And it don't. Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah. Surely it makes sense so he can't drown. Mm-hmm. But if it was narrow enough, you'd need someone with arms so they could hold themselves down.
Yeah.
While the thing is opening. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. That's kind of a. Have we not introduced this term yet? Actually,
no, we haven't.
Okay, time for this term then. Here's another edition of Sam's Lexicorner.
Samuel. Words. Phrases. Sam's Lexicorner.
Okay, this week on Sam's Lexicorner, I try and bring the energy back up.
Yeah.
Okay. This week on Sam's Lexicorner, Jordan, this was on your request, so do you want to explain your request?
Sure.
Do it.
So I asked you.
Fucking hell, I didn't realise we had an Ibiza DJ in the fucking house.
Do you say that to me?
So I asked you for if there was a term for a critique of like a piece of entertainment that is often dismissed or perceived as like arbitrary, given that usually because you've already had to suspend your disbelief. You've had to suspend your disbelief a certain amount to get to this point where you're sort of like making this critique.
Yes.
So it's usually the type of thing that people will dismiss going, really? That's what you're... So in the case of Onward, it's the fact that this guy has no top half and you're criticising that.
And it's a world of magic, but we're criticising the fact that he can stay underwater with no support and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and like in Sonic, the example I gave you was in the Sonic film, when Sonic curls up into a ball. That doesn't make any sense because he's got more quills than when he's standing upright. So his quills would have to go all the way down his back like a normal hedgehog for his body to be completely wrapped up in this like ball of quills. Yeah. And it's the type of criticism people go, well, he's a blue hedgehog that runs the speed of sound. That's what you're criticising?
Yeah, you've had to suspend your disbelief so much that it just seems like a trivial nitpick.
Yeah.
But it belies the fact that even in outlandish concepts, there needs to be an internal logic.
Yes, exactly.
So, the term I've come up with for that is the suspension of disbelief apologetic, or SODA.
Okay.
Okay? That's it for this week on Sam's Lexicorner.
Samuel. Words. Phrases. Sam's Lexicorner.
Alright, is that...
Right back down again.
is that it for Onward?
Pretty much, it's another Pixar film.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's another
It's
run-of-the-mill Pixar.
Yeah,
film.
it's not.
Okay,
It's
but-
not it's not a Finding Nemo. It's not an Incredibles.
No, yeah, take that sentence in the context of the now.
Yes.
Yes, not if this
Yeah.
was 10
Oh yeah, we're
years ago.
talking about like
Yeah.
current Pixar
Yeah.
where they're
If
just
this was
churning
10
out.
years ago, this would not be a good Pixar film.
Yeah.
No,
where they're
yes,
just kind
absolutely.
of churning out sequels that range from I don't like this to we didn't need this, but I don't begrudge its existence.
Yes.
In that context, it's another Pixar film, but it's better. It's one of the better mid-range Pixar films.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Would broadly recommend.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, Woody Allen. So the only reason I wanted to bring up Woody Allen is so
Because you're a misogynist, as we've established in previous podcasts.
well, yes, feminism is cancer,
is indeed.
and I hate all women. So
You hear that, potential future employers? You heard it here first.
I mean, just don't tell them about all the cutouts with the M word, and we're fine.
M-word.
The N word.
Oh,
I said-
M-word.
Yeah.
What the fuck's the M-word?
But yeah, no. So basically, it's a memoir being published by the same people that did his son's book or something. It's something like that, basically.
Oh, I don't know any of the...
Yeah, so basically, he had a memoir that was going to come out, and that's just completely not happened now because the people have walked out at the publishers.
Right. Did they publish a book by Ronan Farrow? Was that...
Let me get the right.
I only say that, I don't know, but there could be an irony in that because it's Mia Farrow's son, and he's been one of the people to out loads of people in the Me Too movement.
No, so it's Mia Farrow's brother.
Brother, okay.
Yeah, he was really unhappy because he felt like he had been working with this publisher and they hadn't told him that they were going to publish Woody Allen's memoir.
Right.
Because that's 100% his business.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, well, I back, what my sister says. Oh, shit. I back what my sister says.
Right.
So how can you publish a memoir by him?
What is
for the sake of my own clarity, is this because of the business with his adopted daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What exactly has he been accused of?
What was he accused of with his daughter?
In general.
Woody Allen. I'll get the wiki article up.
We're a professional bunch here at the Funfiltered podcast.
I didn't think we were going to go that deep on it. So.
Unlike the wood stuff.
Hi. So, according to court testimony in 1992, Allen visited the children at Mia Farrow's home where she was shopping with a friend.
I thought you were going to say where she was shot.
Dylan was sitting on the floor and Woody was kneeling on the floor facing her with his head in her lap.
Right.
When Farrow asked Dylan about it, Dylan allegedly said that Allen had touched Dylan's private part while they were alone together in the attic.
There's an old quote. I think it can be attributed to Marx. I'm not sure, but basically the quote. I'm paraphrasing, but it's I wouldn't want to be in any cunt that would have my member.
I thought you were going to do all of that.
Oh no!
And then you were just going to go, and then you were just going to cut yourself off and go, just suck my dick.
No, I thought that was quite,
No, it's good that you took like a quote and you reworked it rather than just,
Yeah, I felt like the impression could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
I was more trying to get to the actual substance.
Yes.
So if I do an Alan impression in the future, it will be refined.
Okay.
It was Ronan Farrow, by the way.
Okay.
It is Ronan. Yeah.
It's her brother, is it?
No. It's
her son.
I was getting Dylan and Mia Farrow going around. But yeah, essentially, there was after it was brought to light that they were going to release this memoir.
Yeah.
Ronan spoke up about it, and Dylan spoke up about it, and staff at the publishers staged a protest and walked out.
Right.
And now they're not publishing the book.
Right.
Now the thing with this is, I get it, but at the same time, he is still Woody Allen, and he hasn't been proven guilty at any. This information has gone to court more than once.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he didn't do it, but it has never been like, oh yeah, 100%. We know this happened.
But this is the age we inhabit, isn't it? It's guilty until proven innocent. Believe all women. All that bullshit.
Yeah. They've completely cancelled the plans now for this memoir of his.
The thing is, right, let's, take Harvey Weinstein as an example. Obviously, if he wrote a book in prison, he shouldn't be making any money anymore. But at the same time, wouldn't you kind of want to read a book written by Harvey? I would want to read that book. Even if it's it's him clearly trying to paper over everything he's done.
Yeah.
But I'm I kind of want to read what he has to say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to give him money.
No, but it's like, what's the name of the guy that Bombshell was based off of?
Roger Ailes.
Roger Ailes. If there was a book that had been written by him, what his side of it was.
Yeah.
I think that would be quite interesting.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
We get the woman's side of it, in all these things that come out, you get the woman's side of it, but then you don't get, and it's one of the things where I found Spotlight really interesting, because in Spotlight, in the film, you had the thing where Rachel McAdams knocks on the door of the priest, and he was like,
yes.
I was molested. That's not...
Yeah, you get a little bit of an insight into... Because, nothing happens in a vacuum, and it's not to excuse anything, but it's, I think the problem is that for all the talk of being, spreading empathy that the left espouses, there's no forgiveness narrative. There's no forgiveness arc as far as left is concerned anymore. Do you mean Harvey Weinstein, to take an extreme example, I don't know, let's say he was a young guy, but he'd done as much as he had done.
Yeah.
And he went to prison for 50 years, and then he came out. How do you treat the guy? Has he done his time?
Yeah.
Can you do time? Does that mean anything anymore? I don't know.
I don't think it means...
Nothing to the left, absolutely not. No, because now it's that thing of kind of blacklisting.
Yeah. But then you've got someone like Woody Allen, who has made some very, it's certainly, for me, Midnight in Paris I'm a big fan of, so...
he's a true art, you can't deny that. Like, he makes a film every year.
He makes some very good films.
He made Annie Hall.
Yeah. This has never been proven as an allegation. And in all honesty, again, if you published a memoir, I'd probably read it.
Yeah.
I mean, it will still come out whether it's published by Hatchet or it's not. The films that he had to deal with Amazon.
Yes.
Well, he's still going to go and make those films. He's just not making them with Amazon anymore.
Yeah.
And there are people who, so you take his latest film. I can't remember his name now. We talked about him on it. Timothy Chalamet.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So he donated. He worked on one of the last films that Woody Allen did.
Yeah. And
then this got brought back up to light, and he donated his paycheck to different charities, basically.
Okay.
And he's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't work with them again. Right. This, for most of Hollywood, this is not a new thing that Woody Allen's been accused of these things.
Yeah.
But he still gets all of these people that work with him.
Well, you would. You just would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the problem is as well is this idea that where there's smoke, there's fire. And these days, just saying he did this is like, oh, he must have then.
Yeah.
There's kind of no critical faculty at play anymore.
I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't look like the kind of person that would do something.
Whoa, anti-Semitic. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
speaking of, presumably you have to pay for Mein Kampf, right? Who's making money off Mein Kampf?
I don't know.
The Hitler estate?
The publisher is where I thought. I wouldn't have thought it goes to any person.
Yeah. No, just like you saying about I'd love to read a book from Weinstein, but I wouldn't want to pay for it. It's like people out there who purchase and read Mein Kampf. But there is someone out there who's sincerely making money off.
It's on my list.
Mein Kampf.
I will be buying to the FBI people listening in right now, or to all the various Facebook / Google algorithms that are hunting for racial obscenities to destroy our futures. I will be buying Mein Kampf, and it will be for an objective reader because he's the worst person pretty much to ever exist. He's up there. I want to read his thoughts. I want to know
what you have. Yeah, what does the man have to say?
Yeah.
Because what is it? Mein Kampf doesn't stand. It's my struggle.
Yeah. I understand the not wanting
of course
to have that just out in the world for people to, but also it's interesting.
But it's how you understand understanding history. It's the whole thing. If you don't understand it, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
You gotta know what they were thinking.
I mean, there's nothing more enriching than sort of hearing the perspective of, as you say, one of the most evil men to ever exist.
Yeah.
If that isn't going to influence your opinion of the world and whatnot.
But then again, take the generation of now. There are people who, because this hasn't happened in our lifetime, genuinely don't believe that happened.
Yeah. Well, they can't comprehend a pre-Google universe.
No. Well, when Battlefield 1 came out, because that game is set during World War 1, and that came out a couple of years ago, there were people who genuinely didn't know genuinely didn't know that there was World War One,
No,
which is just ridiculous to think.
Oh yeah, we named it World War II for the fun of it
Because there were two people who like started it all.
Honestly, they tell you that, and this is the thing. This is what made me feel really old the other day. So I was having a conversation with some people in the staff room at work, and two of the staff members, now they're like a year younger than me,
Right.
did not remember what dial-up was.
Okay.
Right.
And honestly, like dial-up's not that long ago.
No.
No.
And as I say, this person was literally like, there was two people who didn't remember it, two of us that did, and they were both literally like a year younger than me, and I was like, dial-up's not that.
I think there's a tendency, and we definitely fall into it, of like thinking, oh, I'm getting older, like, oh, grumbly, and kind of justifying your kind of bitterness. And, it might be a bit premature, but I think because of how fast everything moves now, generation gaps kind of spring up quicker.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's like, it used to be a generation it would take, for you to start not understanding what young people were saying. Now it's like a couple of years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is a boomer
Like, we would talk,
Generation X or Y?
they're their own generation. The
Okay.
boomers that is the name of that generation.
And millennials are another generation again. They're not Generation Y or Generation.
No, there's boomers, then it's Generation X, then something else, maybe Generation Y,
Okay.
and then millennials.
Right, okay.
And now we've got Gen Z.
And Gen Z, which have just
Gen Z,
cropped
okay.
up now.
Yeah.
Let me
there are-
check that actually.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there are now memes about Gen Z
Okay.
and sort of the evolution or devolution of humour from
Yeah.
like boomers to Gen Z.
Yeah.
It's baby boomers, Generation X, Generation Y, and Generation Z.
Okay.
But I think Generation Y
Oh, millennials?
are millennials.
Yeah.
Yes, so baby boomers follow the silent generation.
Yeah.
I think the silent generation, did they follow the greatest generation? They did indeed. And they followed the lost generation.
All right, okay.
Yes, they did. Yeah, go on with generations. Yeah, we are millennials, unfortunately, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like, we were talking with someone who was 22 or 23.
Yeah.
And she, VHSs never had,
Yeah.
like, never ever
Yeah,
had.
exactly. Bizarre. Are we millennials though? Because I've also seen that,
Yes.
but like generation
We
generation is a spirit. Like you could have been born after 2000 and still be a boomer.
No.
No?
No.
Don't
I mean,
buy that.
there are things associated, obviously, with traits associated with the generations, but literally,
Yeah.
obviously, we're millennials. I don't know.
Or is it like gender and sex? It's like you're biologically male, but your gender is blah blah blah.
Well, that's similarly bullshit, isn't it?
Ooh, Sam.
Neither makes sense.
Hot take from the Funfiltered podcast. Gender is bullshit.
No, not gender's not bullshit. The fluidity of gender is bullshit.
Right. Okay. Are we done with?
Yeah. I just
yeah.
wanted to moan about the fact that
Oy.
Well, as you say, he'll find a way, won't he? Woody
Yeah,
Allen is not.
yeah.
You'll find a V.
You find a way. You'll find a way.
You'll find a V.
If Mein Kampf can be published and bought,
Yeah.
Woody Allen's memoir will be, won't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Or is he the Jewish Hitler?
My brain's not registering that.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't know what to do with that information.
Yeah. I'm just imagining.
We should put that as a title.
Is it a self-hating Jew, or is it a Jew that kills the Aryan race?
What do you think of when imagistically? I just think of a short banker doing a sea cow with a Star of David around his.
Oh no, I think like
And a yarmulke.
I think a Hasidic Jew with the moustache.
Oh,
With
and the
Hitler
curls.
moustache. Yeah.
Okay.
That's not threatening at all.
Curls and the Hitler moustache.
And the
Okay.
Hitler moustache. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, ideologically, what would that imply? Jewish Hitler.
Yeah.
Well, if it's Woody Allen, it'd involve females of some.
Well, no, let's move it away from Woody Allen.
yeah,
for now, just as a concept.
Well,
Jewish
it'd be
Hitler.
a racial ethnic supremacist, wouldn't it?
Okay.
Purist.
Right.
But Jews were the
So
highest.
it's literally Hitler, but Jews become the master race as opposed to
Jews
Aryans.
the master race, yeah.
Right, okay.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
The difference is there's no kind of national overlap. Do you know what I mean? I guess New York would be Germany.
Yeah.
Or Florida.
Is it...
Florida would be like
I was going to say,
Japan.
is it bad in Florida? That didn't mean that at all. Are there
Is it
many
bad
Jews
in
in Florida?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Elderly Jews. It's where Jews move.
I see. Okay.
A lot of Jews on the coasts.
Right,
LA,
okay.
Because they know they got to Scarborough at a moment's notice. They need to be next to the sea.
Right.
That's no. Not many Jews in the Midwest. So let's just say that. Yeah.
All them Milwaukee Jews.
All them Milwaukee Jews, yeah. Okay.
Have you like prepared yourself like, okay, I'm going to say this now.
No.
This is gonna be public.
I was just thinking of like basically just the guy going, oh yeah, you betcha, I'm a rabbi. But there was no. I was trying to think of a joke, but there's no joke there.
I see.
It was more just the
I do feel like we should just now name this episode Jewish Hitler and see how that goes down.
Yeah. So New York would be like Germany.
Yes.
Florida would be like Japan,
Okay.
and Israel would be Italy. Actually, Israel should probably. I think more Jews live in New York than they do in Israel. That could be spurious, but I think that's true.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
like it would be correct.
Yeah. Okay. So Germany is New York.
Okay.
Israel is Japan, and Florida is Italy.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we all the same? Is Britain still Britain?
Well, what do we be? It depends.
Is Britain anymore, Jord?
Ooh, topical. Is it? I mean, is it purely Jews?
Well, it's about to become full Britain again, right? Because Brexit.
The difference between in analogy, there's no strict analogy because these are just Jews everywhere.
Yeah.
Whereas Japanese were Japanese, Germans were Aryan, Italians were, I guess, kind of Aryan, but with the dark complexion.
Interesting that Japan and Germany were sort of.
They were.
Yeah. It's like in the most recent series of Doctor Who, the first episode, the Master, who's now played by an Indian actor, dresses up as a Nazi.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you're like, hang on a minute. And they have to address it in the episode. He's like, oh, I'm wearing like a filter on my face so I look Aryan.
Right.
But they just dress up an Indian guy in a Nazi uniform.
Okay.
But they don't, no SWAT stickers.
No SWAT stickers.
SWAT stickers.
Swastikas, yeah.
Swash stickers. None of those. And I don't think they have the Iron Cross either.
What was a swastika originally?
It was a Hindu symbol.
Yeah.
Because that was...
He fucked that up, didn't he?
He did.
I don't know if I brought this to your attention before, but there was a video on YouTube about multiplayer games should not give you the option to play as Nazis because people don't want to be Nazis.
Right.
So in like a World War II shooter where you have like the Allies versus the... What was the other side? The Axis. Yeah, the Allies versus the Axis. Being the Axis shouldn't be an option because who wants to have Nazism thrust upon them?
Right.
Or something like that.
Okay.
But even in the game, like they don't.
Some men are born Nazis and some have Nazism thrust upon them.
Thrust upon them. Such as Eddie doing a salute right now. Yeah, but they don't even have any of that because the mere like presence of a swastika is like swastika. How do you say it?
Swastika.
Yeah. The mere presence of one is like, oh no, you can't do that.
It's not kosher.
Yeah, it's not kosher.
Yeah.
It's definitely not
Definitely not kosher.
If you want to get some good Nazi memorabilia, there's a shop in the Isle of Wight.
But does Nazi memorabilia?
Yeah. It's good.
Okay.
It's a good shop.
Cool.
Does it exclusively sell Nazi memorabilia?
No, but it's got a good section. It's got a good range.
Okay.
I'll check it out. I don't know. I've never been to the Isle of Wight.
So who would Woody Allen's Himmler be?
Oh god.
Richard Kind.
That's the thing. Are we just going
on pure Jewishness?
Okay.
Right.
So it's not like frequent Woody Allen collaborators. It's just famous Jews.
Jews.
Okay.
Who are the top Jews? Who's the top Jew in the world?
Shall I Google that? See if it comes up.
Who's the best Jew?
The top 10 Jews. Welcome to Watch Mojo.
Woody Allen definitely. Larry David, he's got to be up there.
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld,
but he never makes a point of his Jewishness.
No, but
No, I feel like
Jewish.
I feel like you have to be Jewish.
Okay.
You know? Like Richard Kind is Jewish.
50 most influential Jews.
50 most influential Jews.
Yeah, I suppose.
How can you stop at 50? They control everything, don't
they?
Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, there you go.
Let's go on forever. Let's move on.
Yeah, at what point do we stop?
Yeah, we stop now.
Yeah.
All irony.
Sergey Brin is the founder of Google.
What?
The founder of Google, Sergey Brin.
Is he the founder of Google?
He's one of them.
Okay.
He is Jewish.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's just silly. I
was going to say
complete aversion to
to completely round off this little whatever this was.
Okay.
They could never do a Nuremberg, could they? Because the whole point of Nuremberg is, it was the war criminal trials for the Nazis, and they were being prosecuted.
Yeah.
But all lawyers are Jews, and so there'd be no one to prosecute them.
That's true.
All right. That's true.
No, just to wrap up that little thing about nobody wants to be a Nazi. Why would the game why would there even be a chance for you to be a Nazi? But they don't even they're clearly Nazis, but they can't even. It's reached the point where we can't even depict a swastika,
Yeah.
or an iron cross, or like any Nazi symbolism,
Yeah.
symbology,
Symbolism. Yeah.
That's a bit silly, isn't it?
I don't know. Like, games is an interesting one because it's one thing to make films about Nazis where it's just accurate to do that, you know.
Yeah.
Games, I don't know. It's a trickier one. That's an interesting one. I mean, there's that thing in Call of Duty, isn't it? That mission, no Russian.
Yes.
What are the ethics of that? I don't know.
But I'm just talking about like if you're going to depict a Nazi.
If you can depict them.
Yeah,
in the
we're
game,
allowed to depict Nazis, but there are certain symbols of Nazism that we can't depict.
Oh yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, if I was making a World War II based game, I probably wouldn't include an option in the multiplayer to play a Nazi.
Okay.
I just wouldn't even go like, nah, there's no point. There's no point.
Well,
Even
that's what the video suggests. Like, I'll have it like the red team and the blue team as opposed to the
Right.
Allies and the Axis,
Okay.
even though it's a World War II shooter.
Yeah. It makes no sense, because why would you even want to? It's that thing of, even though there might be nothing wrong with it, it's that thing that's been talked about, like, if you were to study intelligence differences between races.
Yeah.
Like, there's empirical data that can be mined, and there may be differences in intelligence, but why would you even bother studying it? Nothing can be gleaned from it.
Yeah.
If it turns out that like black people are less intelligent than Korean people, what are you going to do with that information?
Yeah, exactly.
I sort of feel the same way about, free speech, you should be able to do what you want, but why would you? Like, I don't even know why you'd include that as an option. You know what I mean?
It's a World War II shooter. It's the bad guys and the good guys.
Yeah, but why?
Those are the two teams that are fighting. It's the Axis and it's the Allies.
But why would you have that as it doesn't make any sense. In a multiplayer, like, don't even do it that way. Don't have it as an option that you either play as the Axis or
So
the
would
Allied
everyone
forces.
just be generic soldier then?
Yeah. Would you do it? If you were making a World War II game, you can be a Nazi or you can be an American.
Well, yeah, that's
wouldn't.
part of the fabric of World War II.
Yeah, but you're not obliged to create a game where you can play as a Nazi.
No, you're not obliged.
You're choosing to make a World War II game, and you're choosing to include a feature where you can play a Nazi.
Yeah, but not in the campaign. It's like purely multiplayer. And again, that's only because you need you've got the good guys and you've got the bad guys.
Yeah.
They're the two sides that they're fighting. The good guys don't fight the good guys.
No, I know that, but yeah, I agree with that thing of just have teams. You don't have to. They're just this is your team and that's the other team.
I trust people enough to, if they're given the opportunity to play it as a Nazi, they're not going to suddenly adopt that ideology.
No, I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying that.
No, I know. I'm
straw
just
manning.
like that's one of the defenses, not the sort of rebuttals for that video.
Yeah.
Was, well, people aren't going to become Nazis because they were a Nazi in World War in Call of Duty game.
No, of course, but it's
in the same way that people are not going to become soldiers from playing Call of Duty games.
No, though it is used to desensitize soldiers to killing.
Yes.
No, I'm not saying that, and I'm basically a free speech absolutist. I think you should be able to do it. It's more just the wisdom of it. It's you can say that, but why would you? It's kind of just, do you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's exercising restraint rather than imposing restriction.
Well, I think can we at least agree that it's silly to do it halfway? To depict Nazis, but to sort of remove the symbols of Nazism. Like, you're calling them Nazis, and they're clearly Nazis.
Oh, you're calling them Nazis?
Yeah.
Yeah, then that's silly.
But they're not swastikas.
Yeah,
there's no
silly.
swastikas, and
Yeah, that's silly.
Again, like in Doctor Who, there's no swastika, there's no iron cross, but they say he's a Nazi.
Yes, that is stupid.
Yes.
Yes, either have it or don't.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Is that everything we've got to discuss?
I believe it is.
Yes.
Happy days.
Okay.
Ciao, ciao for now.
Ta-ra then. Yeah.
Bye.